Good morning, everybody. There's Finny. Welcome back. Finny says, welcome back, everybody. Yeah. How the hell have you guys been? It has been a very long time. We have had a whole bunch of crap going down, but everybody here is okay. We had a few minor family emergencies. We had ice storms, right, Foo-Foo? We had negative 15 below temperatures. We had tense moments where we weren't sure if the heat was going to keep up or not. Yeah. We had some crazy crap going down, but we have come out the other side, and we're starting to emerge from survival mode. Right, see, we were in survival mode for a while there, but we are okay now. Oh, there's Miss Phoebe outside the window. And there's Chunky Monkey on the left, and Sylvester on the right, and Miss Austin just jumped up next to Sylvester. And Miss Daisy's on top of the little round thing. Big Mr. Pickup Truck going up the road. Miss Katie's on top of the cable box. And of course, you know Foo-Foo, my Finny. Yeah, extreme close-up. She likes to be part of it all. And Alex is still with us and doing okay. And Mr. Toes is doing all right. He's actually, there's Alex, speak of the devil. Oh, there goes Mr. Chunkies, Mr. Chunk. Speaking of Mr. Toes, he now resides in the bathroom. Because apparently, I don't know if it's Willow or Gus, but one of the two of them is bullying him to the point where he won't even go to his litter box. And I'm not sure which one it is. I think it's Willow. So I'm in the process of trying to find another home either for Willow or for Mr. Toes, and I'll see. So he doesn't have to spend his life in the bathroom, because that's not fair. But it's the only place he feels safe, and he does seem happy in there. At least when he's in there, he's always purring, and he's always using the box. And when I give him free reign of the house, he goes into a little itty-bitty tiny spot in the closet, and he just stays there. And then he poops and pees all over my stuff, and that's no good. So, I don't like leaving him in a bathroom, but for now, it's where he'll have to be. And it's a bigger space than the space he was cramming himself into in the closet. So that's what I just try to keep reminding myself. But he is doing okay, though. He's just a little stressed out. So we are finally coming out of winter, right, sweethearts? Spring has sprung, so we are very glad of that. Now we're hoping we don't have too much severe weather to deal with. I know you guys in the middle of the country have been getting absolutely pummeled with storms. But yeah, the weather has been crazy. Things have been pretty nutty. But we're all okay. We came out the other end. We all survived. There was no major damage anywhere. Little things have already been fixed now, so we're good there. And everything seems to be going okay for now. So we're all going to just hold our breath and take one day at a time. That's all you can do, right? There's Mr. Will. And there's my Foo-Foo. There's the Foo-Foo. And there's Miss Lucy. And then Daisy, and then Alex, and then Austin, and Sylvester. And Katie's on top of the cable box, which you can't really see her so good in the morning light. But we had a pretty good thunderstorm roll through last night at about, I guess it was 1 a.m. or so. I woke up to the kind of thunder that rattles windows, and I was like, good Lord. The cats all went scrambling. Everybody was in the closets and under the bed, and pretty gusty wind. But it didn't last too long. It only hung around for about, I don't know, one of those little 5-minute thunderstorms, and then they're out of here. But yeah, so I hope all you guys have been doing okay. Very thankful that most of us survived. all the crazy weather patterns. That one last ice storm we got was something else, man. That was in the end of January, I think. And we got 5 inches of sleet. So we lucked out that it wasn't freezing rain, because that probably would have been crippling to have an ice storm like that. But we didn't exactly get snow, and we didn't exactly get freezing rain. We got kind of a mix in between, and it was basically 5 inches of frozen pellets that then melted together and turned into cement, is what it felt like. Or snow-ment is what people were calling it. And you couldn't even shovel it. I mean, even metal shovels bounced off it. I was finally able to clear my driveway. I think it was 2.5 weeks. I was just, luckily my car, I have 4-wheel drive, so I just was able to get over it. And get back over it. And then I had these things I had to strap on my shoes that had little spikes on them, so that you, all right now, no fighting. So that you didn't slide around. They're like, I think they call them winter tracks. They're pretty cool. They have either little spikes or little springs on them, and it digs in, stops you from sliding all around. All the little boys in their giant pickup trucks are playing now, so this is typical Saturday morning. Everybody's going to the landfill to take their trash, so you have giant pickup trucks with trailers carrying mounds of garbage on their way to the landfill. So it's a little noisy, but it's okay. But yeah, so we had 5 inches of frozen. It was basically like trying to shovel frozen Slurpee off of your driveway. I couldn't do it. Even metal shovels were bouncing off. So I finally, we didn't even get above freezing for like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. And finally there was a day that it went up to like 38 degrees. And the sun came out. And the only way I got through it is I went out there with a crowbar. I had a 15-pound crowbar and a pickaxe. And I had to use that to break through it. And then when it was like icebergs, once you got a spot, everything just like broke up in giant chunks. And then you just had to kind of pick it up with your hands and shove it off to the side to clear the area. So that like destroyed my back. So I was in pretty bad shape for a little while, but it's much better now. And we got, then after that happened, we did pretty good all through February. Then the end of February, I think beginning of March, we had a stretch of extremely warm weather. And then all of a sudden it was, in early March, I think, it was 80, it got up to 85 degrees. So I had the air conditioning on. So I went from worrying whether or not the heat was going to be able to keep up with, 2 degrees with wind chill. Well, wind chills don't really matter to a heat pump, but with it being that cold, and then wondering whether or not the air conditioner was even going to run a few weeks later, because it was, 85 degrees in the house, which was crazy. But yeah, so it has been, it's been, let's just put it that way. It's been, but everybody is okay now. We're all right. Oh, there's Gus Gus. Good morning, Gus Gus. So he's doing good. And now I've got Sylvester is up here. And Fufu is up here. And I just finished mopping the floor and all that. And as soon as it dries, I did finally also, one of the other things that happened during all this time, I was able to finally get a new stove, which took me forever. It was like, 2 years? But I was finally able to do it. Everything finally stopped going wrong. Oh, there's Lucy. And finally I was able to save up the money and actually spend the money on what I was saving it for. Because for about 2 years there, I kept repeatedly saving up money, and then it would get spent on some other catastrophe that happened. Either a vet visit for a cat, or a doctor visit for me, or something else broke. So one thing after another kept happening, and finally, in I think it was the end of February, finally, I was able to save up money, and it was around President's Day, actually. And they had a big sale at our local appliance center. So we have a little local place that I go to when I need appliances and stuff, because I found out their prices, if you go to them on a sale like that, when they're like President's Day sale and stuff like that, they're not much higher than going to a place like a Lowe's or a Home Depot, big box stores. But the service you get, of course, because there's 3 people that run the business, and they're wonderful. They're all local people, and you go in there and you get treated like a person, and you can always find help when you go in there. You don't wander around for hours trying to figure out what you're, supposed to do, and they're very knowledgeable, and the stuff they have is pretty competitive in pricing. You might pay maybe a little more, like a stove that cost me $500 and something there, you might be able to get at Lowe's for $400 and something, but it might be $50 difference, but for me, it's worth it to know that it's right here, it's local, it's in my community, and they're good people, and it's the same good product. So I'll get up and show you guys here in a little bit. Right now, Fufu is very comfortable, so I hate to move her, but I will show you the new stove and microwave set. So that is very good. So now the next thing I have to set my sights on is the dryer. I was able to get the dryer vent replaced, which was good, because that was a fire hazard waiting to happen after 15 years living in the house. And I think they say you're supposed to replace the vent maybe every 10 years. I have to look it up again. You're supposed to have it cleaned like every year or something like that. And I was like, oops, didn't even think about that. So, but now, of course, the dryer is wearing out, so it's slowly certain cycles aren't working anymore and that kind of thing. So it's good enough for now. I can get my laundry done, but that's the next thing I got to set my sights on. So far the washing machine is okay, but I know for a fact if the dryer is going to go soon, because I bought them as a set. It's only a matter of time. So I'm just going to go back and get another dryer and washer set. And we'll see if the stuff they make these days is any good anymore. I don't know. I do not know. These days it seems like everything is made to be used up and thrown away instead of made to last. And that bothers me. Well, I'm sorry if you hear my stomach growling. I haven't had my coffee or my breakfast yet. But we will see. I don't know. The old stove I had was a Hot Point was the name of it, which I can't remember if Hot Point is like a generic for something. It used to be like they had certain brands that were like the same thing as GE, just doesn't have the fancy name on it, or the same thing as Maytag or Frigidaire, and it's like almost like a generic form of it, you could call it. But the Hot Point stove I had, it came with the house when I bought it back in 2009. So it lasted quite a while, and I don't know how long. It might have been the original stove that was with the house. And the house was built in 1995. And it died 2 years ago. So that's a pretty good track record for a, not a huge brand name, so to speak, appliance. So this time I just happened to get GE, just because that was what was on sale. And it was what I wanted. It didn't have all the crazy bells and whistles they put on things nowadays. If you hear a lot of noise in the background, Lucy is playing with a toy mouse. So she's jumping all over the place with it. And then my washer and dryer I actually bought when I moved in, because I bought the house, and 6 months later the washer and dryer both died, so I had to get a washer and dryer. And I got a set from a brand called Amana, Amana, I think. And it's been wonderful. It's lasted me all these years. I've been in the house 15, 16, 17 years now, and it's lasted all this time. It's beautiful. So they're just now starting to crap out after all this time. So I'll probably go for that same brand again. And this local appliance store I go to, appliance store. Well, yeah, it is an appliance store. They do furniture too, though. They have a Mana is one of the brands that they do sell. So I'm happy about that. So when I'm ready, I save up another chunk of money and I go. What are you doing, Miss Lucy? That's Gus Gus. Yeah. So, what about you, Sylvester? What you thinking? Yeah. Okay. All right, ladies, can we please get up so that we can show everybody the new stove and microwave? May I please get up? Thank you so much. Pardon my little toes. Let me get my funny little slippers on. Because when you have any cats, let alone as many cats as I have, you learn a long time ago to never walk anywhere barefoot. Right? Because you never know what you're going to step in. So, there's Miss Daisy. Oh, Miss Daisy. Ta-da! New stove, new microwave overhead. I still have my old microwave over there because it still works, so I'm not getting rid of it yet. And I'm hoping it keeps working for a long time, because the one thing I did not realize is that this ginormous microwave, which is also a range, so it's got like a, oh, you can see my reflection in there. Hey, what's up? You could also, it's like a range, it's a light, and it's got a button you can push and hold down, like I keep it that way when I'm not using it, that actually locks the buttons, so you can't, they can't accidentally push anything, because that was the only thing I worry about, because the cats do run, they're, well, you know, the cats are wackos, right? So they come here, and they run through, they always keep taking the grate off my refrigerator too. No matter how many times I put it back, they tear it off again and they leave it like that. So I gave up. I stopped fighting. Fine. Let the grate stay off the refrigerator. That'll be another thing I'll have to set my sights on probably soon. Is a refrigerator. And they jump up from here, and they go from here up to the top of the fridge, and then from the top of the fridge, they go up all along the cabinets, and they run like crazy cats. And then sometimes they come down, and sometimes they stay here, and they stretch up. And it just dawned on me, you know, if they stretch up the wrong way and they hit it just right, because some of them are big enough to do it. If they hit something on the microwave, like if they hit the 9 button 2 times, they're going to start that microwave for 9 minutes or 99 minutes if they hit it. So I was like, you know, that's probably a bad idea. I didn't think of that, because the other one that I had up here was broken for the longest time, so it wasn't even plugged in. But this thing has a pretty cool feature where if you hit the lock, see it says hold it for 3 seconds, you do that and it locks all the buttons. So if they reach up, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of fuzzy, but if you reach up and you try to do something, it says LOC on the display, and that means it's locked, so they can't accidentally start something. Sorry, it's my nasty sink. So that's good, that they can't accidentally start something. Okay, what are you doing there, Miss Thing? Miss, I'm going to get into all kinds of trouble. Now, the only thing I did not anticipate, and this is a GE, and the reason I wanted this particular one, which is why I wound up going with GE, was 1, they were on sale for President's Day, so it was cheaper. And 2, it seemed to be the only brand that had no bells and whistles. Because, like, this is what I was looking for, right? We've got the dials that turn the burners on and off, right? Burner dials, stove dials, and the oven light. That's it, right? That's it. I don't want any other crap. And luckily that lady there is very nice. Yes, Alex, we know. We love you too. And she understood me when I said I don't want electronic displays, right, Alex? We don't want electronic displays. We don't want, yes, buddy. So my magnets on my fridge. We don't want electronic displays. We don't want fancy cycles. We don't want 50 million different choices. I just want to turn the oven on, and I want to cook something, and I want to turn it off. What did you just do? You need to start paying attention to what your butt is doing. So Daisy and Finny both have this problem with lack of knowledge of where their butt is, because as far as they're concerned, they only have a front half, right? Only the front half exists. And so their back half pretty much does whatever it wants to. And so they pay zero attention, don't you, Daisy? You pay zero attention, just like Finny, to where your tail is and what the second half of your body is doing. So half the time you crash into stuff, you knock stuff completely off the counter, you knock stuff into the sink, you knock stuff completely over, and then you turn around and look at it like, did I do that? Yes, you did. You and your fluffy butt did that because you're not paying attention. But anyway, yeah, so when I went in there, I had the people at the store laughing because I was like, I don't want it to talk to my cell phone. I don't want it to talk to any other equipment in the house. I don't want it to tell me when it's going to do something. I want to tell it when it's going to do something. I don't want to be able to turn it on when I'm not home because there's no point in that. It's just me living here. So I just want a simple stove that turns things on when I want it to and turns things off when I want it to. Like, I just want to cook my food. I don't need any of that other fancy crap because it's just going to break anyway. And they laughed, and they exactly had what I wanted. Now, the only sad thing is I had to go with, it was either completely black or completely white. And I was a little worried about the completely white because everything in the kitchen, you can't really tell so easy here on the camera. But everything else in the kitchen is almond and wood tone. And that was the whole style. The house was built in 1995, so that was the in thing. Back then was this almond color. So I have discovered that putting something like bright white alongside something that is almond, it bothers me. I can't. The voices in my head are not happy with that. But since a lot of the other appliances I had were black already, like the dishwasher is black and almond, the little coffee machine is black, the tea kettle is black, my little toaster oven is kind of a gray and black color, the griddle thing I have is black, and the microwave only came in black, so that's why I was just like, you know what, let's just stay with black, because I'm afraid if I put an all white stove in there, it's going to look glaringly strange. So I went with the black. And then the only thing I did not anticipate, which apparently this is something was new to me, but it is not new, is they have a, get this out of here. All right, listen, I cut my nails and I can't get my fingers under anything. So they have got this, it's called Sensitemp technology, Sensitemp, I think. And it's kind of cool because there's this, Alex, will you please get your... He doesn't like it when I'm doing something. He thinks I'm cooking for him. I'm not cooking anything. I know, but I'm not cooking anything. Yeah, I know. But I'm not cooking anything. You are a doofus. I love you. His favorite thing to do is jump up and put his nails in my butt. So if you hear me yell, it's Alex's nails in my butt. Anyhow, it's called Sensitemp technology. And it's like a safety feature. So unless you've got something heavy enough to push this down, whether it's on the button itself or just in general, unless this area is pushed down, the burner doesn't stay lit. So if you were doing something and say suddenly you had an emergency and you had to run off and you have kids or pets or like these monkeys that run all over the place. Ooh, your butt's nasty. You got to clean your butt. Sorry, I just noticed that. If something like that happens and the pan gets pushed off the burner shuts off, which is nice. It goes by the weight of the pan that's on there. So that part is good. That's a pretty cool safety feature. I like that. The only thing that is weird about it, though, is standard covers are not deep enough. So they just kind of float around on it. So, yes, we know Daisy. We love you too, Daisy. Daisy is helping showcase the stove. She is my Vanna White. Are you done now? Yeah? Okay. So it just kind of floats around on there. So I got to look on Amazon and see. They make ones for the SensaTemp technology because it sticks up a little bit. And the stove covers are deeper. So I'm going to try to get me a set of those. I mean, for now it's good enough. It just kind of balances on top of that. The plus side of it is if the cats step on it wrong, it sends the stuff flying and the cats freak out and they don't like being on the stove. So in a way, I'm kind of like, well, hey, if that makes them freak out and not want to be on the stove, then they'll stay off the stove, which is good. And then I laugh because I finally got my stove, and I was so happy that I could start cooking on my stove again. And then the temperature went up to 80-something degrees for a couple of weeks. And the last thing I wanted to do was have a hot stove on when the house is already 80-something degrees. So, that's where that is. But at least now I have it. Oh, here's Fufu again. Right, Fufu? So, but anyway, so yeah, things got crazy for a while. Things are still a little bit crazy, but they're a heck of a lot better than they were. And then, that's pretty much it. Pretty much it. But everybody else has been doing okay. I've been doing reasonably okay. And that's where we're at. So, it's been a really long time. I don't know if I'll be able to post again before it's a really long time again. So, unfortunately, any kind of posting schedule is straight out the window. And sorry about that. But, you know, real life has to come first, right? We all know how that goes. So, but that's it. So, hopefully all you guys are doing okay. And we're okay here. And we'll see what the spring brings us. So you guys take care. And we'll talk to you guys again soon, I hope. All right? You be good to each other now. Bye-bye.